So we'll get right into it. I'm going to talk just for a second about RBVM and ASOC, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. First of all, they're very long names, so that's why we use the acronyms. They stand for Risk-Based Vulnerability Management, and ASOC is Application Security Orchestration and Correlation. So I will no longer say those very verbose names to you, but we'll use RBVM and ASOC. What RBVM and ASOC are essentially a tool for you to bring in third-party data, and that third-party data from all of your security tools, your EDRs, your regular scanners like your Qualys, your Nessus, your Nexpose. On the app side, it could be Snyk, it could be various SaaS, DAST, OSS, and container tools. All that data comes into Ivanti Neurons for RBVM and ASOC as they're sort of a combined module in a SaaS platform, and then we provide to you threat and vulnerability context and risk scoring of the individual findings as well as the assets, and we allow you to continually sync with your third-party products and have a single page where you can check and look at dashboards and all that sort of thing. So if you're not a current customer of RBVM and ASOC and interested, definitely feel free to reach out. I'd love to talk to you. We've already gone over this, so I'm going to skip this one. That's for the current customers that are willing to do feedback for us. So as with all the products, I'm going to quickly cover the release summary here. The miscellaneous improvements in the list views based off of user feedback from user experience engagements was one big thing that we did here this last quarter. Additional exports capabilities. Exporting is a big capability for our product, both in bulk to third-party solutions that you may be using for data analysis, as well as just day-to-day exports. The UX updates, we revamped our uploads page with some new enhancements so that it makes it easier to get data into the platform. Most of the data that comes into the platform is going to be automated, but we do support manual upload of your own types of data that could be pen test data or audit data that you've put into the right format in order to track side by side with your vulnerabilities coming from your various sources. As far as data related, we brought in custom attributes into the generic upload mapping. So what that really means is that if you're using the generic upload to bring in your own type of data into the platform, we now support our new custom attributes. The custom attributes was a new feature last quarter, and so those custom attributes now support the ability to bring them in during generic upload mapping, which basically means that you can bring in custom attributes for your assets that don't exist in your third party via bulk upload into our platform. Obviously, you can always use our APIs. 100% of that is supported, but this allows you to use a bulk upload of, let's say, a CSV to bring in custom attributes that didn't exist in your third-party sources to help you do data correlation and slicing and dicing. Findings collections is currently in beta for us with a few of our design partners, like many of you here. So we're working on that, and that's a way to a new way that we've innovated with to be able to do automation around a collection of findings, and so that collection of findings is defined however you want it. So pretty excited to have that in current beta right now. On top of that, finding collections, the first automation that we're doing is the Jira auto ticket creation. We will continue to do auto ticket creation for all of the things that we support, including ITSM for you ITSM customers. So yeah, definitely working through each and every one of those. The multi-client dashboard updated UX version is currently in its final stages of testing and ready for the people that have access to that. And I saved the integrations for last because, again, that's sort of the heart and the core of what RBVM and ASOC is, as we pull data from many, many, many sources. Neurons for Patch Management has some updates. We're actually going to get a quick demo here in a little bit from Alicia on what we currently have for that integration, as well as what sort of updates we've done in this last quarter. And then We did many updates to existing integrations, but we also brought in several new ones, the two biggest ones being Checkmarx 1 SCA, and Wiz has gone into a beta. So we're constantly making updates and moving forward with a lot of the things that we're doing as far as integrations go. So far too many to put here, but I just put a couple of the highlights. And again, we'll get to see the Neurons for Patch Management one here coming up in just a minute. So I wanted to just highlight a little bit as innovators and maybe users of other products here, potential users of other products here at Ivanti, a couple of the things that we are doing with RBVM slash ASOC that may interest you if you're not already aware of them. So the first one that I'll highlight here is called Vulnerability Response. And so this basically takes our risk-based solutions on the left-hand side. You can see all those things that I've been talking about there, the EDRs, the ASMs, the SAS, DAST, all those data sources can come into our RBVM and ASOC solution. That's the risk-based there in the middle. We provide many, many features, workflows, automatic SLAs, prioritization of your findings, risk scoring, that sort of thing. ITSM is now having a vulnerability response capability that can pull data from our risk-based solutions, our RBVM, and pull it over into ITSM, into the security events table, and then based on definitions inside of ITSM, can do auto creation of tickets, auto creation of security incidents, and then can, even through its own capabilities, ITSM capabilities, create those ITSM tickets, but can also then create Jira and Azure DevOps tickets as well. So a very good way to hook into your risk-based solutions and your ITSM and have everything sort of synced into the same place, right? If you have a Jira ticket and an Azure DevOps ticket for the same type of situation, you can have them linked to a single security incident. So it makes it a lot easier to be doing that. And the final piece that we're putting in place here in this quarter, not in the one that just released, but in this next quarter, is that bi-directional piece where ITSM is going to push that ticket information back to the risk-based solutions portion. So pretty excited about that one. And then the one that we're going to get a quick look at here in just a second is our RBVM and patch integration. So Alicia's going to show us the integration, and then we're going to follow up with Chris, who's going to show us and talk to us about Neurons for Patch Management itself, which is what the integration is with. And this just gives you an idea of what's happening here. So as I mentioned, in RBVM and ASOC, we're pulling all of these findings from your third-party sources, and many of them are yielding CVEs. And while today we don't have an asset link between RBVM and patch at this time, something that we're definitely looking at, the capability to analyze the CVEs that are coming in from your EDRs, from your scanners, from these sorts of things, and to be able to add them to patch groups inside of Neurons for Patch Management, or even create and populate new patch groups inside of Neurons for Patch Management, depending on your configuration of the setup, which Alicia is going to show us here in a second, is a very powerful way for the security team, or whoever they may be, for the people that are using RBVM and ASOC, to help facilitate putting things into an integration or a lab patch group that allows the communication of, hey, these are really important CVEs. They just came through in Patch Tuesday, for example, from yesterday, and we need to get them patched ASAP. So from the point they come in from the EDR, they can be pushed over to a Ring 1 patch group, or an integration or a staging patch group, and or added to one very easily, which is pretty exciting, and kind of where we started with this. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and I am going to let Alicia walk us through that for a few minutes, and then we'll move on to Chris and talk about patch management.
I'm here. I'm showing the current patch management integration configuration page. So if you're ready to set up the connection between Ivanti Neurons for Patch and RBVM, you would set that up and enter the information for the URL and get that secret key put in here. And once you've established that connection, you have the options here to allow users to create new patch groups or not. So you could limit your users so that they could only affect certain patch groups that you had designated. You can click here and choose those groups that you want to say only allow them, for example, to mess with a specific group or two that you want them to be able to add CVEs to. You could also do a negation of patch groups, which is basically saying you want them to be able to affect any patch group except these that you've chosen. So once you've set that up and you've enabled this, you can see that when you're over here in our host findings list view, you'll have all the data that you've brought in from your other connectors, and your scanners are showing you these findings. And with each finding, you know that you often have associated CVEs with those findings. So here, this one has this particular CVE. And so if I select this finding because I want to add this CVE to a patch group, I would go here to my actions and I could add it to a patch group of my choosing. I can search the list of patch groups if I wanted to narrow it down by a specific one. And then once I click it, it will say, hey, you're going to add this CVE to this patch group, and then I can do that. And it will submit a job for me and when I go log into the patch management page, I should see that CVE added to that group. In addition to that, we have the ability currently to create a new patch group. So in the same manner that I just did, I could create a new one for me to manage over in the patch management system. So the new thing that we've been working on for this quarter, we're really excited about, is to add the ability for you to see those patch groups in relation to your findings within RBVM. So here you can see we have these new views here on the side, your patch group views, and you can go and click on these and it will filter the page by those findings. And it's here, you can see here the list of CVEs that are associated to this patch group. And then you can narrow down the findings that you believe are going to be part of that patch group. In addition to that, you can, use our other system views like Patch Tuesday, like Mike was saying, and you can use that as the basis for your selection. And you can compare, the CVEs associated as you create your patch groups. And like I said, you can set your patch group view to that once you've created it.